Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport. So we're finishing off the daily races tour today with the final two races of the Battle of Sedans Championship. So yeah, really been enjoying these tours. We obviously have the new one coming up soon as well, the Velocity Tour. First episode out of that will be at some point next week. But let's finally finish off this daily races tour with our Hyundai Elantra N, which has so far been doing us in good stead, I believe. So yeah, we're at Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya for 6 laps. It's the national circuit. It's not the longest one, but still a fairly decent sized track. So let's see what we can do. So yeah, obviously update 18 has gone live since we did the last episode on this championship, and yeah, the cars I've been adding have been mostly impressive, to be honest. Let's just take a look at our series standings. So we're currently in 3rd place, only 2 points behind 2nd, and but also 9 points behind 1st. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle to get to 1st, but
let's get after it.
If we get a good position in this race, we should at least get 2nd. But obviously it depends on where 2nd place is going to position. If they're ahead of us, then they will obviously stay there, but if they're behind, then we should gain enough points to get above them. So let's see what happens. Yeah, really been enjoying this car as well. Already liked it a lot in stock form, but with some upgrades, granted not a lot of them, as it is still only in B class, it's turned into a really fun car to drive. Not sure it'd be overly competitive online, given being front wheel drive limits the kind of power you're able to put in through those front wheels before it becomes unmanageable. But here it's been a real joy. I kind of overcorrected there, sorry Cadillac. I figured that would be the case. Let's rewind. Not sure if the glitch with the sound has come back or not. It did seem to when I was doing the unusual Nürburgring, unusual vehicles at Nürburgring episode. So let's just quickly pause it and see. Maybe. I can't tell. My volume is already quite low. So I don't get any feedback. At least we've got rid of the penalty. Not lost any real positions. On the outside of the Subaru, so into 7th. Make it past another favourite of mine, the MG. Which is also front wheel drive. I think for everyday kind of sports saloons that you're not really going to be taking out onto the track, to have a front wheel drive sports saloon like this or the MG makes somewhat sense. It keeps all of the mechanicals basically up front. You've not got no drive line running right along the car, and that increases interior space and luggage space and such, which obviously you use a far downside more than the performance of the vehicle. So in a lot of ways it does make sense to have a front wheel drive sports saloon like this, but dynamically I can understand why some people might not like it. I feel it works for the most part. Here, MG. It's got slightly better turning than we do. We're still able to keep up. Say that and then we catch up on a corner without even realising it. The outside. So then we have the inside on the next corner. And complete the pass. Right, can we get it to 5th? Gaining. Goodbye. Is that Subaru? Yes. Goodbye, Mr. Subaru. To 4th. 4th place does have a penalty, so if worse comes to worse, as long as we're less than half a second behind, we will gain that place, but I want to gain it proper so that we can hopefully get into a podium position. He's in a Cadillac, and we have seen that those cars are reasonably quick in a straight line, certainly more so than we have been. Saw a ATS-V that was quite a hard car to keep up with in a straight line, so hopefully we can out-corner them at the very least. But obviously, dynamically speaking, they do have the advantage in terms of being rear-wheel drive, less for the front wheels to deal with, so we can concentrate on the turning and the braking. To gain any time here.
Three more.
He's slightly pulling away. Not by a million miles, but it's an advantage that he has over what we do. Slightly smoky wheels there. I believe we have the initial acceleration, especially up into 5th gear, but once we do get to those higher speeds, the Cadillac does have the advantage, as you can see. Once we get alongside him, I think we'll be able to get him. Yeah, he struggles through the corners at times. Hold this inside line. He'll have to go wide, he's not going to try and pull in. Yeah, there we go. Right, can we catch that Nissan Sentra Nismo, which is a car that I've slated a lot, but it has done reasonably well on this championship. I imagine maybe upgrading it is actually a fairly good car, but in its stock form I'm just not a fan enough of it. This one seems to go quite far enough as far as, you know, being a Nismo version of a standard Nissan. So in comparison to the likes of the Nissan Z and the Nissan 370Z, which Nismo also put their mark on and improved on those cars quite remarkably, to be honest. So yeah.
Final lap.
But we do have the edge on the speed front, as you can see, gaining massively there. close that corner up. God damn it. One more lap and we would have gotten ahead of that Nissan, but we just got caught up in a fight with that Cadillac for a little bit too long. But still, 4th place is decent. It's just not as good as I would have hoped. Yeah, as you can see, we were in terms of lap time ahead of the Sentra. For some reason, though, he's not, upgraded it into B class, which I'm a bit surprised by. But another one was also in 2nd, so you can see that the Sentras have done reasonably well there. And then a Lexus IS350 in 1st. So, yeah, that's the rear-wheel drive version. It's not the GS350, which is all-wheel drive. So again, no surprise that that's done as well as it has. So that puts us into 3rd still. So yeah, not gained any places there, but we have closed the gap between us and 1st. We're now only 7 points behind instead of 9, but the gap between us and 2nd has slightly widened. So yeah, still everything to play for with the 4th and final race. So let's get there and see what happens. Right, so we're at Silverstone on the international circuit for 6 laps. So yeah, it is night time. Should hopefully do well here. Is a track that, has a lot of high speed elements to it, and we aren't lacking for speed. There are also handling parts as well, so it should be a good mix for this car. I just hope we can break through the pack quickly enough to not be languishing behind for quite some time like we have been before. Past a few cars to start with. So we're in a Cadillac getting tangled up a little bit there, take advantage of that. Getting mixed up with a Lexus now. We're going to get a penalty for that, guarantee it. Yep, there you go, half a second. I'd have said it should have been a bit more than that, quite frankly, given he also not only crashed into a car, but he also lost them places while gaining a place due to the crash. I thought that might have been a disqualifying kind of incident there. Regardless, it gets us into 4th place. So where we were at the end of the last race in terms of positions. So yeah, that's quite frankly a really rather good start to this race. First place does have quite the lead at the moment. I think it's a Nissan Sentra in 3rd, so we should be able to gain on them. We've got more than enough time this time around. Yes, it is. It does have a rear wing though, so that will have better handling than the last one we're up against. Really do like this car. Such a surprise. I really wasn't expecting much from this in terms of its stock performance or otherwise, and yeah, it's really excelled. Figured just by looking at it that yeah, it's got a bit more power than the i30N, but it does weigh more, and it is obviously a slightly larger car, and yeah, I've clearly worked on it to such a degree that its extra weight doesn't really feel like it's there, and it's been improved in terms of handling quite a great deal as well to make it capable to deal with that extra power, extra torque, and while still feeling sporty.
To go.
Oh, that's way too much. I was trying to get to the curb, but ended up getting the grass as well. I think it's gone quiet. Yeah. Even though we definitely have the power advantage over third, there's just not enough straights on this circuit to fully take advantage of that. Certainly brings us up to their rear, but they still obviously have some handling characteristics that we don't. It's really frustrating this because we clearly are able to gain on the straights, but just don't quite have that edge on the corner.
Last lap. Let's go.
Yeah, that Nissan just seems to be able to get on its power a little bit quicker than we are out the corners or into them. we're going to be a Cadillac CT4 Blackwing, which is obviously not a £100 car whatsoever, but yeah, for whatever reason that Nissan was just able to keep ahead of us. If we're on a much more power orientated circuit, I guarantee we would have been quicker, but yeah, as you can see, they very much are level pegging with us in terms of lap time, and 0.003 of a second is nowhere near enough of a lead in terms of lap time to yeah, get ahead of them overall. So yeah, which is a shame. We were obviously slightly ahead of second place as well in terms of lap time, and more than 0.1 of a second ahead of first place as well, but again, not massive enough times to really take advantage of those extra bit of time. If it was a second or two, then maybe we would have eventually made up places, but being 0.1 or less of a second quicker on a lap is just not enough. And there we go, we stay in third place, so it's at least a podium, which is better than, you know, not being on a podium to finish this tour off on, but I would have liked second or at least first, so yeah, bit of a shame. But nonetheless, the Elantra N is a fantastic car. It's just not as great as it could be in the hands of someone else. So yeah, but it is still a really, really good car. Really fun to drive. Maybe you could upgrade it in a different way to make it that bit better, but the way I upgraded it seemed to have been perfectly fine enough. Just didn't quite have the advantages over some of other cars that you might well have expected. And yeah, despite me slating the Nissan Sentra at the start of this tour, it obviously has some advantages when it comes to this championship. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and yeah, the next tour, the Velocity Tour, will also be done. Looking forward to that, even though it is focused on racing cars, but still should be an entertaining championship regardless. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.